First live show, Outspoken TV here, coming at you strong.
You already know what it is.
As usual, I am Cordell Moody.
I am Marcus.
Ski.
That is not how you introduce
That
yourself,
is
bro.
how
That's
I
not
introduce myself today.
Hey,
Thank you.
look.
E2, baby. You already know. I'm the upgraded Eric.
Hey,
This one don't know how to act. He on the phone.
hey.
He don't know how to
Easy.
speak properly. Look
Easy.
into the camera.
Easy.
Take his
Hey,
hat and his shades
I am-
off and shake
I
his
am
hand
2-0. Talk nice to me, okay?
Wait, but
Oh, happy Victory Monday, big
Oh,
dog.
happy Victory
Come on,
Monday.
baby.
You too.
You know,
You
we
know,
all-
come on now.
hey,
2-0,
we all
baby.
2-0.
Happy Victory Monday, big dog. Come on now.
Oh, he ain't 2-0. He ain't 2-0.
Oh, I said Victory Monday though.
He playing that.
I mean,
I included you.
Monday. Yeah.
He playing that mediocre football.
He not used to having things. Again, he don't know how to act.
Okay.
It's all good.
I ain't gonna say all that.
The people who are used to winning.
No, because
Act
I
like
know
they've been
I
there
know
before
we're going to
because
be
they've been
mediocre soon. So that's the thing. I'm just getting it all out while I can.
I mean, you know.
It is an average team mentality. I can relate, unfortunately.
Average.
It's not ideal.
Below average franchise, not just a team, just a franchise.
All right.
Whoa.
Make
Oh.
sure everybody knows that we are live not only on YouTube, but we are
Live.
live on Twitch.
Live.
Giving you our own version of a Monday night countdown of what it should be. We have
Yep.
a doubleheader coming up later on, so we will get into the Panthers Saints and Steelers Browns games, but we have to get things started, and I think it's only proper to get things started way back when. Go back to Thursday Night Football.
Thursday night.
Let's go all the way back there. Let's have that conversation.
Damn, who
Eagles,
played
Vikings.
But
Okay.
Eagles-
I was like, hold on. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Hey,
yeah.
come on,
Eagles-
player.
Eagles.
My bad. That was a long time
Vikings.
ago.
What'd you guys see? What'd you like? What'd you not like? You feel like the Eagles are getting things back on track? Were you impressed with a little bit more with hold on. Were you impressed a little bit more with Kurt? Because a lot of people thought that he was going
Right.
to really stink it up,
Right.
but he didn't. So all the questions out there, you got the. You go ahead, Rob.
The floor is
You take it.
yours.
I wasn't impressed with either side, to be honest with you. I felt like the Eagles offense, it got stuck in the mud a little bit at times. I felt like the Vikings offense, they need a running game. They're realizing what life is like without Dalvin Cook out there. And I saw a little bit of both. So I didn't really walk away impressed with either team. I mean, the Eagles got the victory. They're 2-0 on the season. But I'll be quite honest with you. I mean, the Eagles don't necessarily look like themselves so far to start the 2023 season.
It's weird because it seemed like they ran the ball because Jalen Hurts wasn't moving the ball like they were expecting him to. Like, it wasn't that their game plan was to run the ball. It was like, all right, this, and this not working. We're not able to move the change. We're not able to find AJ. We're not able to have our offense look fluid. So let's just work with what we got, which is DeAndre Swift. 28 carries for 175 ain't nothing to sneeze at. That is impressive to look like they could do that, especially considering going into the season, their line was a little beat up, a little old. They still out here moving people around a little bit. So we'll see when they play better running defense how it looks. But it is a little concerning that the Vikings can't run the ball. You shouldn't have Justin Jefferson get 150 yards receiving and y'all not put up more points or get him a touchdown for that matter. But those are my quick takeaways.
I mean, I'm not worried about the Eagles offense. I think that teams are playing them different to where it's like now they're like, look, you guys run the ball, but we're defending the pass. Teams would rather get killed on the run game than get killed by Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. So it's like a lot of the game, it's like either the Vikings were doing cover zero blitz, or they just do a what do you call it? Like not a spy, but they disguise the cover zero blitz and then go into a zone where they only pass rush 3-4 guys, and everybody else is pass coverage. And they're just like, we're not going to try and give up the big play. You can essentially run us to death, and as long as you're patient with it, then it'll work. But if not, then it won't. So I think that the Eagles, like last year, guys are like, hey, Jalen Hurts has to beat us. Now it's just like, no, we're not going to let Jalen Hurts and the weapons on the outside beat us. It's going to be guys that are the running backs because they're not, the most heralded group at this point. Yeah, they're a bunch of solid players, but they're like, we'd rather them win the game than Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith win the game.
It's crazy because they still allowed them big catches to Devontae.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. It was few and far between because they still had less than 200 yards passing at the end of the day. Sure. So they were like, look, and you know those plays happen mostly when they did blitz every now and then, and Jalen Hurts was able to withstand it and throw it inside the pocket for the passes. But for the most part, they were like, no, this run game is going to beat us, and they did that. The Eagles, to their credit, stuck with that, and it kind of reminds me of the year when. Pat Mahomes, they essentially were like, look, we're going to rush 3 and we're going to have the 2 safeties back.
It was a couple of years ago when they did that.
Yeah, and it's like everybody thought that this is how you figure out Pat Mahomes.
The 2 safeties.
And it wasn't until he was able to adjust to that, then when it was just like, oh, okay, now Pat Mahomes is still Pat Mahomes. But people had concerns with the offense at that point for the Chiefs when people started doing that.
What was interesting about that?
I wanted to hit on that because I was like, okay, so now after last year, high-flying Eagles, they go out, they do what they do last year. And then this year, it seems like they're getting more of the Mahomes-Allen treatment where it's like, we're not going to let you have the explosive play. You're not going to get beat us deep. Now you have to play this whole patient game, and you're going to have to dink and dunk, and you're going to have to run the ball in order to do it because we're not going to give up anything, and can you be disciplined to do it? Do we think that's something sustainable for Jalen Hurts to be able to do and have those long drives consistently?
I think it can be because you have the perfect remedy for it, and that's the run game. The fact that you're playing the Eagles deep. You're essentially taking 2 safeties out of the picture because they're so concerned with deep plays. So you're giving up lighter boxes, which is why DeAndre Swift was able to have a night that he had. I think they have the perfect remedy for that. It's one of those things where you can go in that direction and say, hey, we're not going to let Jalen in the pass play beat us, but you have to be sound defensively in the run game in terms of tackling, attacking the run lanes, being disciplined in terms of zone reads and things of that nature, because that's how they can beat you. And we saw it the other night. They can beat you the slow way now by just handing the ball off to Swift and those guys. And you're eventually, by the time fourth quarter comes, you're giving up enough game-winning plays.
Yeah, I think, my bad. I think the difference that's like with Mahomes and Allen and the Eagles is the Eagles are built off the run game. Even when Jalen Hurts wasn't the Jalen Hurts that we know now, they were good at running the football.
That's the difference.
And they're just going back to the bread and butter.
You forced the Chiefs teams to do something that they were out of their element to an extent. They had to run the ball a little bit, and they had to dink and dunk. You're forcing the Eagles to what actually may be a strength.
At the same time, it's also refreshing to see that they stuck with it when they had it.
Right.
I feel like so often over the last few years, we see teams, they get down 10 points, 14 points, and abandon the run game.
Start throwing it. Yep.
With the Giants week 1, they
drove the ball. A team that did that yesterday.
Drove all the way down the field. Week 1, then didn't give Saquon the ball after that. Right. Yesterday, we seen Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall didn't get the ball. And you're playing a Cowboys defense where you got Micah Parsons eyeing down on you every play. You got Zach Wilson back there, but you ain't want to run the ball. Right. It don't make any sense.
Right.
I feel like we've seen it so often where they're not feeding the ball. Like we've seen the Titans do a great job with that with Derrick Henry. Regardless of whatever they got going on, they're going to stick with their game plan. Mike Vrabel going to have them boys ready to play. They're going to feed Derrick Henry, and they're going to work you out. They're going to wear you down. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to see that teams can still whip that out when they can.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's few and far between. I feel like more teams need to rely on their running game.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a philosophical thing.
And what Robinson said is like the one thing with the Vikings is they don't have that. So it's like the more you drop back to pass, we already know their offensive line isn't one of the best. So it just creates more pressure on Kirk Cousins, which creates the turnovers that we weren't used to him having, at least, especially this early.
6 fumbles in the first 2
games.
Like,
it's insane. And he has, I think, 3 interceptions. So it's just like you're putting so much on Kirk Cousins' plate. Yeah, he can create, the yards, and they can get the yards, but it also ups how many turnovers they have because there's just so many more times that they can get to him without having to worry about the run game because it's just non-existent.
You're forcing yourself to be one-dimensional.
Yeah. And it's like it works for yards and for fantasy, but to win games, not so much. So
I think to lean on that more, they would need Kirk to be mobile, which I guess he's not. He can move, but you know what I'm saying? You would need a quarterback that could get out the pocket and get you 6-7 little chunks when people sitting back.
I know this may be a season where we may be viewing running backs differently, but I think by season's end, the Vikings are going to look at the running back position and say, man, we need to have a certain level of talent.
We got to have a dynamic guy
in order to make this thing truly work. I mean, I know Justin Jefferson is arguably the best receiver in the league. Jordan Addison is making plays as a rookie.
They was built on that zone run scheme.
But the balance that they showed for so many seasons is what kept that offense stabilized up to this point, and they're missing it now. And granted, the numbers for Cousins still look good, but he's throwing more. But at the same time, it's like, man, he doesn't when he had Dalvin Cook back there and he was able to hand the ball off and Dalvin was able to do his thing, that's when that offense gelled, and they're missing that right now.
All right, let's shift gears. Go to Sunday. Shift gears a little bit. Go on to Sunday. Sunday, let's go ahead. Let's knock it out. Let's talk about Packers Falcons.
Oh, it's our time.
Man.
Hey.
Damn, you had him in the
I
D-block, bro.
never
That's crazy.
realized how much
It's okay, man. Sorry.
Y'all so dramatic, bro. It's week 2. It's week 2.
I never listen to this guy.
We haven't been over 500 since 2017. We haven't been 2-0 in 6 years, man. It's been a long.
That
That was our last postseason.
We've been okay, but never great.
Never great.
I understand that.
But hey, look, shout out to the run game. Shout out to Bijan. Shout out to
Bijan. If you go sit here and talk to people, it's Bijan.
Don't talk.
Don't talk.
He's
talk
2-0.
about- Don't talk about
Is
my
he
running
wrong?
back. Don't
Is he
talk
wrong?
about my running back.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Are you gonna correct him on your?
Y'all gonna be thanking him every week because Desmond Ritter is cool.
Bijan.
You're a Falcons. You can pronounce it whatever you want.
That's my running back.
It's
my accent. It's my
This is
accent.
coming from
It's
someone.
my
It's
accent.
my accent.
I think it's your pronunciation.
Keep this in mind. This is coming from someone who didn't expect Bijan to be taken at 8.
They did.
We don't need to play the
Made a
game.
Bro, we're not doing this.
Made a
It
whole
wasn't
bet
because
about
of his talent.
Made a
It
whole
was
bet
because of
about
the
it.
NFL.
We don't need to.
Made a
We
whole
don't need to
bet
play
about it.
video. We don't need to
But
play
we not
video.
Your logic made
we
sense.
the
but you was wrong.
The Falcons are definitely they're 2-0 at this point. They overcame a 12-point deficit yesterday in the fourth quarter against the Packers. A Packers team that kind of sort of limped their way into the game with missing players, missing key players
No Aaron
on
Jones.
the offensive side of the ball. No Aaron Jones, no Christian Watson, no David Bakhtiari. However,
I think it's Bakhtiari.
that defense was intact. That Green Bay defense was intact, and they gave up 446 total yards, including 221 on the ground.
Talk there.
I'm just saying.
Hey.
I'm just saying. Desmond Ritter had a shaky start for sure,
Very
absolutely. But once he was able to settle in, he made a couple plays in the second half. Bijan Robinson showed why Bijan is Bijan. I call him Black Jesus. You guys are going to hear me say that on multiple occasions, but I call him Black Jesus because he leaves defenders at his feet with his jukes. It's beautiful. But they're 2-0 here. Gotta give credit. Honestly, it hasn't been talked about enough because of Bijan and Ritter, but their defense only gave up 224 yards yesterday, surprisingly, which is something that you probably wouldn't have noticed when you watched the game. You would have thought that they gave up well over 300 yards, but only 224 yards today. Give them some credit there. They came up in the fourth quarter, got 3 consecutive stops against the Packers. Falcons are 2-0. They're looking pretty nice.
Hey, look, shout out to Ritter for bouncing back after that first half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, these pick sixes, man, like they right there. The Packers was dropping them. I ain't gonna lie. But second half, hey, when we needed him most, he came through, never lost at home. So I give him credit for bouncing back. He helped us lead to a win with the running backs in tow. Defense did what they had to do in the fourth quarter. We 2-0. Love to see it.
See what happens.
I love that. Again, speaking back on the running game, how refreshing it is to see a team lean on that running game. I'm so glad that y'all show that y'all care about winning by leaning on your running game and not on this.
I'm pretty sure you're going to have something to comment on about that as well. Later, if we mention.
Oh, if the Commanders, the 2-0 Commanders get mentioned, it's gonna be beautiful.
If they
just in case.
They'll get brought up by Russ and Hail Mary. But
we're here.
We're here. Did you have anything to add?
Did you have anything to add to that? Right.
Jordan Love.
Go ahead.
Come on in.
Jordan Love did have an opportunity.
Come on in, 2-0.
Come on in. I will say one thing with Jordan Love, he still hasn't turned the ball over. So I give him
credit. Yeah.
That's fair. Hey, Sam Howell was looking good handling that rock.
I want to talk about the Commanders.
You know what I'm saying? Yesterday a little bit. I hate my team. I really do. They really make me mad.
Dang, hate is a strong word.
Hate, because they shouldn't make me feel the things they make me feel. It doesn't like
You just have a roller coaster.
I just want to have a nice, straightforward, comfortable, competent dub. But they always got to do something dumb. Always, every time. I can't I understand. You know what I'm saying? We go
what
down.
are those like? I have no.
Oh, y'all, we here.
Hey,
We
what
here.
are those?
Y'all know damn well. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking
We've
about.
had a lot of those.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
It's not fun. The
Never
picture face. Don't be crossing your arms.
Right, 'cause
It's
he
all
wins
comfortable.
comfortably.
You're unbelievable.
Right.
That's crazy.
He wins comfortably.
Hey,
by
Our
blowout
defense would make
margins.
Jimmy G look like that too.
Right.
I want to hear it.
Say one more time. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Our defense would make. Goddamn, I had it right the first time.
Yeah,
Look,
Our defense
look,
would make
while
Jimmy
we're-
G
while
look
we're
like
at
that
it,
too. That's
While
what
we're
I
at
said.
it, your run defense can get this work too.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
You don't want to come at my run
Your
defense.
run defense can get this work too.
I mean, we kind
My
of
run defense just held the leading rusher to
-2.
-2 yards.
How much y'all gave? How much y'all gave
last year?
How much y'all gave to Brees?
Who?
How much y'all gave to Brees in week 1?
100?
Oh, that's last week. That's old news.
Yeah, okay.
You don't
They
want
fixed
that
some
work.
alignments and assignments, and
You
here
don't
we are.
You don't want that work.
We ain't
'Cause
on me though.
it's your
We the
spotlight.
Commanders.
Nope.
No.
You
We
fight-
don't
you-
deserve the spotlight. This is great. Y'all
Nah.
keep doing that.
You
That's
You
cool.
2-0, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Talk
2-0.
about,
Go ahead,
talk
talk
about
that
your
stuff.
Commanders
Comeback season.
getting the win in Mile High.
Comeback season. Eric Bieniemy. Talk about
He got them boys swooping a little bit.
Coach of the year, huh?
it. Whoa.
Well, he's coordinator,
Whoa,
but
whoa, whoa.
neither here nor there.
Is that not a coach?
Yeah,
But
but
you
like
can't-
coach of the year goes to the head
Coordinators don't
I
win.
say head coach
There's
of the year.
coordinator. There's a coordinator of the year.
Coordinators don't win.
Is that an award? Did they do that?
They
I don't
when
know.
you again speaking on leaning on the running game. B-Rob. I don't know if that's your cousin, your brother, your uncle.
This
I
is
don't
my
know.
third cousin.
Sure.
Third cousin. That sounds about right.
2 tutties. We let us see it. Pounding that rock. I love that they have established B-Rob as the tote back and they move AG around. He's like our very, very, very low budget Debo. And I love to see this for us. I really do. Sam Howell looks like he's at least comfortable with making tougher decisions or at least responding to a little adversity, moving in the pocket. The pocket presence is there. He see a blitzer, he slide a little bit, keep his eyes downfield, boom. It's crazy that this is my bar because I'm not used to competent quarterbacks. This should be expected from your quarterbacks. But it's nice to see that Sam Howell's getting it done. $2.99. I wanted to say 3 bills so bad.
Come on, man.
$2.99.
It's 1 yard. It's 1 yard.
But
it's not
It
3
does
bills.
everything. You're right.
It's not 3 bills. It's tough.
Game of inches.
I mean, but
Come on
that's
now.
okay though. That's okay because he's gonna
cool.
throw for 4,000 yards.
It's okay. Look, I seeing us put up you know 4,000 yards. Seeing our offense, no defense, no special teams, our offense put up 35 points. It made my heart so happy. We don't do that. I'm not used to our offense doing that. Like we averaged like somewhere between 18 and 20 points a game last year. And it felt like that. If we had averaged 3-4 more points a game, we'd have had about 10, 11 wins. Ain't that crazy to think about? Like all we need to do was just
I mean, it's pretty
Put the
hard to
ball-
average that in the NFL.
I understand that. You playing against big people, sure. Homeboy on the edge, 6'3, 275, sure. That's a big, you know what I'm saying? I understand. It's not easy, but you get paid to go do your job and go put the ball in the pay dirt.
I will.
Get some buckets. I want points.
I will
And we
say
putting up
this.
points.
I-
Airbnb got them boys who
Not
Let us
quite
see it.
sure how they're going to be by season's end. I have a general idea how they're going to be by season's end, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how at
Better
least
than
that
Giants.
defensive line, how that defensive line plays going forward.
Oh, we gonna
That
learn
was-
real quick. We
that
got
was
the
the
Bills
first-
this weekend.
That was the first.
we gonna see
wow. That was the first
Yeah.
time that we've seen.
What are you looking for?
That was the first time that we've seen in
because
a
you
lo-
are the Bills representation.
That was the first time in a long time that we've seen that line intact, playing together. Like last year, we saw plenty of Payne and Allen looking the part. We saw Sweat at times looking the part.
Well, not
But
at times. He was productive. Also,
He was
like that.
he was
No.
he was their top edge rusher last year.
Struggling in there.
We just didn't see Chase. It's been a while since we saw that, but yesterday was the one snapshot where we saw all 4 on the field at the same time, all 4 wrecking havoc. That Broncos offense couldn't find Russell Wilson couldn't breathe that second half. Couldn't breathe.
Yes, got sacked 7 times.
They
had
had 3
some
points
issues.
in this, like from this midway through the second quarter on until that boo-boo play at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Where we
Hail
want to sit there and
Mary
act
Rush.
like you don't practice to knock the ball down
If you see the ball in the air, game over.
Okay.
Just put the ball
Sorry.
on the ground.
Okay.
Game over. There's no need for you to stress me.
You guys won. You guys won.
No, there
It's-
is always something dumb. For
It's-
why?
it's okay.
You're
For
the-
why?
you're the
For
commander.
why? There's never a
You're
need.
the commander.
There's never a
You're
need.
the
It's a
commander.
Hail Mary.
It's okay.
The ball's up in the air. You see it.
It's
You
okay.
see, just go knock it down. It's so simple.
Let it
It's just
out.
right there.
Let it out.
Pow! This is right there.
Let it out.
Oh,
Let it out.
and then the final play, y'all couldn't even just
Let it out.
give me a clean defensive possession. Y'all want
Get
to
it
sit
all
there and
out.
hold the receiver,
Get it
and you
all
lucky the refs weren't incompetent
Get it
as
all
y'all
out.
were on the final game. I'm
all
so
out.
upset.
It's
They
okay.
make me so mad. I
It's
just want a
okay.
nice clean
It's
dub.
okay.
If we beat the Bills this
It's
weekend,
plain.
y'all will see a different energy
It's all
from
right.
me. I apologize.
All
I
right.
got
It'll be the same.
That energy is going to be
It'll be the
amazing next
same.
week if
Like,
they beat the Bills. I
they
just
beat
want to
the
let y'all.
Bills.
That
Hey.
energy is going to
I
be
just
nuts.
want to feel good
You
about
can't
a
be on the
dub.
show.
That's all.
It's okay. You guys got it out. You got it out. But you're 2-0.
Oh,
We can't beat the Cardinals right.
You're 2-0.
Can't beat the Broncos right.
You're 2-0.
But
These
you
are
won.
both bottom half teams for me.
But you won the game.
You're 2-0.
Hey.
They're not making the playoffs.
You're
The
2-0.
Broncos are making the playoffs.
No,
What?
they're not.
At 0-2, they're still making the playoffs.
Bro, this guy. That's because it was
You're
his
2-0.
pick.
You know how many
But
teams
it's
are
not
struggling
gonna
to win
happen.
games right
Don't
now?
happen.
You're 2-0. Take it. Okay.
He has a better chance.
The Bengals are
But the
limping.
Bengals are
right
0-2 and
They
don't
always
make the
limp. They go to the
playoffs.
AFC
You got
Championship
But they may not
Denver
have-
I would love to
They
limp
may
into
not-
the AFC
They may
Championship
not
game.
even have Burrow Monday night.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
My take.
My bad.
What's up?
I'm good.
I was happy to see what I saw from the Broncos personally.
Had nothing
They
to say.
played well in the first
You
half.
ain't got
They
nothing-
did.
You ain't got nothing to say
I
about the Falcons?
It was like a quarter and a
I
half.
didn't know you want me to go back.
You ain't had nothing to say about
I didn't know you want me to go
Hey,
back.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Hey,
You guys said you
Okay.
want to move on. I said,
It's
cool, we
okay.
can move
We
on. I
asked
didn't know
him
you
if
want
he
me
had anything to
rewind.
say.
it's okay. It's
We asked him if he
okay.
had anything to say.
He didn't have us making the playoffs anyways.
Y'all said everything that
Why
needed
your
to be
jaw
said.
so
He's all right.
strong? Sit back. Relax.
Anyway,
It's all right. It's all right.
I
Oxygen is your
feel like
friend.
Sean Payton is
Disrespectful.
slowly getting his fingers more engraved into this. I feel like they're going to continue to get better each week. I think next week, I don't even know who they're playing, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get their first.
They're on the road against the Dolphins.
They're losing. They're losing.
They're on the road against Miami. If you want to toss that out there,
You should have known they weren't making the playoffs.
I
and
smell
they lost
a-
their first game.
I smell a 0-3.
No.
I smell a 0-3.
They couldn't beat Jimmy G.
This is going to be.
Jimmy
That's
G.
okay.
That is
see-
not okay.
I see.
That
I
is
see
not
what,
okay.
I see what you're
It's
saying.
okay, because this is new.
I see what you're
It's
saying.
all new.
I see what you're saying to an extent in terms of Sean Payton having his fingerprints on this offense, but it's literally in spurts,
Yes, right now.
and
I
it
feel like
needs
he'll put it together. It's
when.
just got to get put together. Guys, we're only in week 2.
But
We
they're
still
but
got
they're
15
they're
games.
staring
They're
they're
gonna be
staring
0-3.
they're staring at 0-3 right now. They're going on the road against a hot Miami offense that
Hot?
come
Look
on,
at the hot.
stop it,
Hot?
stop it. The way Sam Howell, the way Sam Howell was making plays on this secondary last week, or yesterday, I'm quite sure
Terry.
that Tua may be able to make a few plays here and there.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh,
I just got a problem with the hot.
This may
He's
be
hot.
over.
Leading passer in the NFL.
This may be
He
over.
got simmered down.
This may be over. This may be over by halftime.
The Broncos.
Yes.
Their next 6 games got Dolphins at the Bears.
Okay, we give
Jets
that.
come to town.
Oh.
Chiefs.
Oh.
Packers.
Oh.
Chiefs again.
Oh.
Bills.
Oh my goodness. They ain't making
One win?
No, I think
Maybe.
I got the
Maybe.
one win.
I got them beating the Bears and the Jets at least. I got them beating.
No.
I think that's a toss-up with the Jets.
After that they still have to play the Chargers twice. They got the
That's a
Vikings.
dub.
Nah.
They got the
They
Lions.
beat them once.
They got the Patriots.
Keep in mind real quick, they lost at home to the Jets last year. That defense swallowed. Pause.
Like I said, it's slowly. Like I said, they're going to continue to get better. They're going to win some of these games that you don't think they should win.
Boy,
Against who? The Chiefs?
that 1-5 record and his
Hey, well,
it's coming, guys. I'm killing it. It's coming. That one
They're
1-5.
gonna go on a 9-game win streak.
It's gonna be 1-6. He's
Where
gonna
you
be-
see the dubs? They beat the Bills.
They're gonna be
they
1-6.
beating?
Hey,
He's
no,
gonna be-
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're gonna pull a Lions and they were
I wouldn't be
1-5
surprised.
and they still didn't make the
They're,
playoffs.
they're gonna be
have won.
They're gonna be
Y'all
one.
had-
Hey,
Wouldn't be surprised.
they're
Y'all
gonna
give
be
one.
they're gonna be 1-6, and he's gonna be sitting on his couch saying, "Guys, I think they're getting ready to turn the corner right here. This is the week.
So
This is the week."
Dolphins probably 0-3. They should get the Bears in theory. Should get the Bears. The Jets come
in
to town.
Chicago, by the way.
If you want to make it a toss-up, fine. But I would like to think that the Jets should win that game.
I think
Yeah.
the
The
Jets.
Packers come to town, they could get that game in theory.
Maybe,
The Packers
yeah.
offense is a little questionable, but
But
at the same time, they
I
were
mean,
hurt.
but
They
Jordan
may
Love
have
is
they may
efficient.
have Watson and Jones back by then.
Who knows what their offense look like with your boy Christian? You know, he got that wiggle. You always talk about his
Yeah,
wiggle. He
yeah.
got that wiggle.
He
6'4".
got
He
top
got
wide
that wiggle.
receiver. Supposedly.
He got the John with him.
And then they got the
Nah,
Chiefs
that's
twice in
good.
that period.
Eeh. Eeh.
They may get one on the Chiefs.
Ooh.
They
Nah.
may get one on the Chiefs.
When's the last time they beat the Chiefs?
The
Like-
Chiefs offense looking very
Bro,
questionable.
they haven't
right
beat
now.
the Chiefs since like Peyton Manning was.
Maybe
Oh, no.
we should. This
I'm
is the
with
perfect
you.
time to segue into Chiefs
I'm with you.
Jaguars.
Sure.
The Chiefs look a little questionable though.
They do. They got the dub yesterday, but
Do they not?
you know what
They
you know
wanna
That was a
They
one
won.
possession game the whole game.
the
At
one
least it was against a team we feel like is going to win the division.
the
If
one
anything, it's
the
it's
one
their
issue
defense that was.
the one issue
Yeah.
that I
They
saw with
got the win division by
the
default.
one issue that I saw with the Chiefs yesterday is that even with Travis Kelce being in uniform and on the field, we still saw the drops, and some of them were from Travis Kelce, and that was it. I couldn't help but go back to Week 1 and think even if Kelce played, they still would have had those issues with the drops, and it's
But
one
I
of
think
those-
it's because of the Kelsey injury. He just hasn't played a lot. Like, I'm going to go off of that.
really to start to dropping
For
easy
Kelsey-
routine passes in
for-
year what 10.
For Kelsey,
Yeah, you get
yes,
the benefit.
I give him
You
the
give
benefit
him
of the
the
doubt.
benefit.
Anybody
He's
else that was
earned
having
it.
drops, but
He's earned
I give him the benefit
Unless
of the
you're
doubt.
saying that you think he's just falling off a cliff,
Like,
hit the wall.
No, it goes back to my theory before the season where I don't know if you guys recall me saying this, but I just felt there's something funky hanging around the Chiefs.
Yeah, you thought they weren't going to win the division.
See, that's how I felt about the Bengals.
Like it's one of those things. They
And
have
here
that
they
they have that off season where they win the Super Bowl, everything looks good, and then all of a sudden Chris Jones comes out of nowhere with his contract, and he's like, I'm holding out.
Hey, he's
until
an
then.
inevitable force now.
Right, he is, but still,
Speaking of which,
but this is something that we don't normally see. This is
you know what I'm stopping up for.
this is something that we normally don't
I'm
see
glad
from
you chose to
them.
not leave him hanging.
But
out.
it was just,
just
but it was,
assume that he was that.
but it was the Chris Jones thing, and then not long after that, Kelsey gets hurt going into the season opener, and then you have the season opener. And then you're getting drops from Tony. You're getting drops from Sky Moore.
It's
Then
crazy
you
'cause
lose the season opener.
When I use this logic with the Bengals, I was crazy. You know, Joe Burrow
I mean,
was
it's-
getting hurt. Now he might miss next week.
I'm just saying,
Apparently.
like it's something funky hanging over his team that we've never seen from them before.
Hey, look,
Just the little thing.
But they
I was the one who said that just because you got 15 don't mean everything gonna be okay.
Everything is still gonna. 15 guarantees you a playoff spot, but I think this may be the year where they may just creep in. They may
And
not.
get knocked out.
They
Creep
may.
in.
What?
Creep in how? They're going to win the division.
I don't think they're.
No,
If
they're
okay, if they
Come
win, if they win it,
on.
okay, if they win it, it's going to be 10-7, 11. It's not going to be.
Okay.
It's not going to be like
the
for
way
sure
that we
number one
speak
seed.
on
we won.
Mahomes'
No, yeah,
weapons
none of us had them as number one.
is as if we expect Patrick Mahomes to bring something out of them, like that he's just like this
What this man
playmaker.
was saying.
But
Like,
I
if
mean,
you-
you expect that from
you
someone
on the
like
court.
that, right?
No, I
Anybody,
don't.
anybody that plays with Tom Brady, you're gonna think Tom Brady's gonna make them. They're gonna
We
make
also
plays
saw-
at some point, right?
When that line was drawn
we saw there was a
toward the end of
long
his
time
career.
where they had a lull where it's like
And he also had
no
Gronk
Super Bowl,
most of the
He
time.
always
like
had
no like
Yeah,
when-
Randy
as soon
Moss
as he
for a
got
little bit.
Randy, Tom had always had a number one target from Randy
Bro,
forward.
look at what he did. Look what
From
he did.
Randy forward.
Look what
a
he
number
did
one
for.
target.
Look at what he did for Deion Branch.
Yeah, I guess so.
Look what he did for Deion
I mean,
Branch.
when they were
He
healthy.
made Deion Branch.
He wasn't. Again, he
No,
wasn't
he
Tom.
wasn't
Tom
Tom.
wasn't
Let's
lighting
not
up
Let's not do
nobody.
that. Let's not do that.
He was not lighting nobody.
Hey,
He made
let's
Deion.
put some respect on Super
Deion
Bowl
went to
MVP
Seattle.
Deion Branch.
Deion Branch
Don't do
went
that.
to Seattle and didn't do a damn thing. He made Deion Branch
There's so many players
Into
that
what?
happens to.
Fine,
It's not
he
even
made
you know
Deion.
what?
Into
I
what?
feel more
into a
comfortable-
Super Bowl MVP.
I feel more comfortable saying that Brady made Wes Welker than saying he made.
No, Wes Welker was still.
No,
Wes Welker was
Wes
actually
Welker
good
was
in
a
Miami.
journeyman.
He was good in
He was good
Miami.
in Miami.
They
He
were
was-
just not winning
He
games.
was okay.
No, he was
He
good.
was going from team to team. I think the Patriots were his second or third team.
That was his
It was
second.
the
third.
season.
second team, and then he went to the Broncos.
And then he went to the Broncos, and Peyton. He still looked
Well,
like
that's
Wes
because he went
Welker
to
in
the
Denver.
next guy.
Wes-
Peyton will make a
Wes
wide
Welker was
receiver
good
out of
in
somebody.
Miami, dude. Wes Welker was good in
He
Miami.
wasn't.
Okay, no. Tom Brady made Julian Edelman.
There's another one.
That's
he
one
said,
that-
Wes Welker, we don't need you no more. Julian,
That
Edelman,
was-
you can just
so-
fill it in.
Is Julian Edelman better than any receivers the Chiefs have on their roster right now?
Yes.
Yes. That's
All right.
Better
So-
or more talented?
better.
Don't we
More
not doing this
productive.
RC
Like
talented thing.
Catches the ball when the ball is thrown to
Production
them.
There's a difference. though.
Production,
I know, that's what I'm
production
saying,
has
we're
he
not doing
produced better than everybody else on the receiving corps? Yes. he
Yes. Yes.
has. Okay. Then.
Wes Welker wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver until he got to New England. His last year in Miami, he had 67 catches, 687 and 1 touchdown.
That's third
It's okay.
receiver numbers.
He was a third receiver. Or he was a
So
slot
we're
receiver.
gonna
No. Just because you're a slot.
we're not
Don't
gonna take it.
mean-
We're not gonna take into
That's fair.
context who he catching passes from that year.
Oh,
Wanna know who
you
the starting
want,
quarterback
y'all want
was?
to take a guess?
You want to know who the starting quarterback
Oh, do
was
you
that
know?
year?
Oh, I want to guess.
I know.
Oh,
Hold on.
It's a former
Can I-
first round pick.
I got you.
Can
I
I
got
get
you.
a year?
It was
I just
2000.
need a year.
2003.
2003.
No,
Was it
no,
3
no.
or
2000. So he was hurt in 2003. He didn't play. No, that's a lie. He played in all the games. He didn't register no stats. In 05 and 06, he was with Miami. So in 06, who was the quarterback for the Dolphins?
In 06. Okay,
Oh.
so JP Lawson is coming around this time.
former first round pick. He was a
So this
bust.
was before Ronnie Brown.
Because he was
I'm
at the Bills, right?
I'm
too?
a-
No, he wasn't.
JP
This is a
No,
former.
no.
This is a former-
This is
I'm
trying
former-
to relate
this is
to
former
who
top five.
was JP going against?
This is
Oh,
a
okay.
former top 5 pick. Who's a bust. You should be familiar with him as well. And then you guys will understand why the dynamic change in quarterback play elevated with Welker. It wasn't the fact that he was not good.
Was he
So-
Hall of Fame good?
Okay, yeah. So there's
The answer is Joey Harrington.
Okay, yeah. No.
He was catching pass. He had almost a 700-yard season from Joey Harrington
Joey
his final
Harrington
year
is
in
the right
Miami.
answer.
I mean,
Dante Culpepper started 4
games.
games.
Yards. What he's working with.
He sure has.
That's what I'm pointing out.
Come on now. He sure has.
No, I'm joking. You have to keep in mind the time of the time frame, the era of football.
Like in that era, 1,000
No.
yards was a great season.
Yes, it was. Now it's common.
Fine. But like Joey Harrington,
So-
when we mention Joey Harrington, that's how we finna
No,
talk
like,
about
really?
Case Keenum.
Like,
That's how we finna talk about
We're just going
Kyle Allen.
No,
That's how we
I-
finna talk about all
I-
these dudes that was throwing the Terry
I
McLaurin.
think Wes Welker's a good receiver. I'm not saying they not.
What we got next, host man?
We're moving on. We're moving on, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
look, man,
I know
Where's
there.
you
I know
from
there.
knowing that though?
All
Joey
I have
Harrington
to
very
say-
random.
All I have to say is, just because you have 15 does not mean everything is okay. He cannot do it by himself.
15 can get you to the playoffs.
He'll get you further
Yeah,
than
he can get
most,
you to
if
the
He
not
can
all.
get you a wild card.
Oh. I guess
I mean, that's
yes.
the
Since only
playoffs.
one
That's
team
playoffs.
knows.
That's the playoffs.
That's fair. I guess damn, everybody in the wild card now. You right. All right.
He gets you there.
Hey, bro. You know what?
All
Is he
right.
a Hall of Famer?
So
Hall of Famer. We had that conversation on a different
Oh,
show.
yeah,
Who
that's
Hall of
that's
Famer?
all. Hey, we're not gonna talk about it. 'cause it's
We're
gonna
not gonna
spark
talk
a whole
about that.
it's
Because
got to
you
be
know-
Matt Ryan.
you know.
See, that's why.
When y'all got an issue with Matt Ryan being Hall of Famer,
Seahawks Lions.
who got the most passing yards in the first 9 years in NFL history?
So the Seahawks.
You see how nuanced and niche that stat was? It can't just be, oh, he got this many MVPs, he got this many Super Bowls. Y'all want to pick, oh, in his first 9 years, you gonna give him the Mike
Because
Evans.
I have to, because he doesn't have the MVPs.
Damn. Go ahead,
Has
Cordell.
one.
So Seahawks Lions.
That's a great game.
You're good.
I'm gonna see you after the show.
He's so upset.
I'm gonna see you after
I
the
can
show.
see it in his face.
I'm gonna
That's
see you
all.
after the show, though.
Let's
Let's talk
it's
about.
crazy.
You can't talk about
Yeah,
Matt like
but
that.
Let's talk
but
Seahawks.
His
Lions.
legacy could have been a Super Bowl.
I
It
like-
was right
I
there.
like Gino.
Hey,
I
let's
like
talk
It was
Gino.
right there.
Hey, we're not talking about that.
Y'all brought up Matt Ryan as y'all on there for. Go ahead.
Seahawks Lions.
Hey, look, Geno Smith, great game. Tyler
Get a
Lockett
little high. I
was
know that
clutch
jacket.
in the
Look a
second
little
half. Seahawks comeback
Whipping your neck at
win.
me like that.
Jared Goff could not break the record because he threw that INT, that pick six. But honestly, it was a great game by both teams. Just the Seahawks managed to win in overtime, and I'm not mad.
I
at it.
usually don't like talking about injuries or like calling it blessing in disguise type thing, but that's how I feel about this Montgomery injury, honestly.
I knew you was gonna say
I
that.
feel like it is now going to force them to get Gibbs the ball more. Get him more touches. Just like James Cook had 17 touches, $123, and 4 to 5 catches in the receiving game. That's all I'm asking for. Not 25 to 30. Get this man 17 touches on the ground.
Your team don't know how to run the football.
James Cook is
Apparently
great.
they did.
James Cook was evading people in the backfield. There was a lot of times. Not a lot of times. It was probably like 3 times. I had to cut.
But Gibbs can do that.
He can.
Gibbs can
I
do
cut a
that.
good James Cook today, so I went through.
but with his injury, who spells him?
Spells who?
Jameer.
I don't know who the. I need to know the depth chart. I don't know who the depth chart.
It doesn't matter.
They
No,
should
it
give him
does
the ball.
matter. It does
Give him the
matter.
ball.
Let's give him the
Just give him the
ball.
ball.
Hey, that's how people
Again,
get hurt, right?
It will be
You get
nice
it, right?
to have some change of pace.
Let's
It's
just
nice.
give.
You
Let's
got-
just
hey, look, in this
Jameer
day of
Gibbs
NFL,
can
you
do
need
more
some-
than David Montgomery.
let's just
can.
give Bijan the ball 30 times a game, right?
That would
Did I say
y'all
that?
would be
Did I
more
say that?
productive.
I
We
said
didn't say you
15
sure
to
about that.
20.
But he was
Could
talking
be.
about you don't need it.
No.
No, you do.
There
need
are
it.
more plays that Bijan
Look,
can
the
make.
only running
in
back that
moments
can
that
carry
Tyler
a
Algier
load
can.
like that, Derrick Henry,
Mhm.
Nick Chubb.
Yep, that's it.
That's the list.
Everybody else,
That's it.
everybody else, you need to have a running back by
So,
committee. Even if
yeah.
you have a certain talent in the backfield like Bijan Robinson or Jameer Gibbs.
They
I guess need is
hold
where
on.
we.
So-
So I agree that it's probably better,
they're
especially the way running back needs work, how they're treated. Go ahead, Cordell.
their third running back. Unsure who this guy is. Maybe you guys are familiar with him. Craig Reynolds.
Nope.
Anybody know him from
I think-
college? Nothing.
Yeah.
He used to
know
play
of
for
him.
the Cardinals
But
last year, I
he's
think.
he's nothing you want to lean on long term.
No,
Now, hypothetically,
no. But what I'm hoping for
hypothetically, if AG was your starting running back and you had no one else, you didn't have Rodriguez, you didn't have Robinson.
That's
would,
different.
Would you be?
AG
That's
was
the
a
same
former
picture.
wide receiver.
That's the picture
That's
that you're
different.
playing for Gibbs. Gibbs is not. Gibbs is more of a scat back.
real quick. So Jack Savage, this is what he was saying. I want to give some love to people who are watching. Jack Savage says Miami and Baltimore are the only teams in the AFC that look like a 1 seed. To that,
That's fair. That's fair.
Baltimore?
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, hold on. The game against the
Jack,
Bengals.
They gonna have to
the
fight
game
their
against the
injury
Bengals-
woes before they fight
No,
for the damn 1 seed.
But that's the thing, though, is even though they've had injury woes, they've still been beating teams by double digits. And then obviously that is against the Texans, and then they beat the Bengals. But the Bengals scored
Yeah,
at the
they're
end of the
formidable.
game. But they scored at the end of the game. But they had
But
control.
the
for a
thing is,
minute,
we're
so.
always talking about the Ravens are doing this, and that without these people, and we're hoping that these people finna be there. We're hoping Rodney Stanley is going to be healthy.
Yeah.
Marlon
But at
Humphrey
the
and
end
Marcus
of the day,
Williams,
when
they missing.
Lamar is healthy, they're number 1 in the division.
To me, that's fair because, I mean, we can honestly say that they're playing the best ball in the AFC at least right now, right? With the
Who?
Chiefs, those two teams, the Dolphins and the Ravens. They're undefeated. They're playing the best ball in the AFC right now.
Hey,
Yes or
but
no?
Don't be hating on the damn.
Come on,
ball.
like
I'm
let's be
thinking
honest.
about the Ravens right now. I'm not talking about.
But I'm
Dolphins.
saying, but
Yeah.
no, but my point is that the fact they're both 2-0 again. The Chiefs, they won yesterday, but they don't look like their normal selves. The Bengals are 0-2. You guys are still the loss from the season opener is still kind of sort of hanging over y'all, even though you guys went out and handled business yesterday against the Raiders, what you're supposed to do. But it's just that what other team in the AFC right now is
Here's my issue.
The Ravens have potential.
Here's my thing with the Ravens because I chose the Ravens to be the 1 seed at the end before the season even started. Jack Savage, 1404, just to let you know. Sorry, Joe Dowda, unsure how to pronounce that.
Oh, Joe Dowda.
He's got the Chiefs still being the 1 seed, but we strongly disagree. But the Ravens, first you play a rookie. Okay. Your game didn't look that great, but you got away. You beat the team you're supposed to in the Texans.
Okay.
I don't know if the Ravens are that good or are the Bengals just this god awful. Like, I don't know, which is why I'm like,
But Lamar
like,
has
right
some
now,
good throws.
I don't know if I would feel comfortable with saying that they are. Like, I'm fine if you want to say Miami right now, cool, but I'm not okay with putting
But the
anybody
Chargers
else.
are 0-2.
What
And
those
the
being
Patriots are 0-2.
with the Ravens, what
That is
Lamar and them was trying to go into the season doing, oh, I want to throw for 5,000 yards, I want to throw for 6,000 yards, whatever the case is, and they're not doing that. So if you're trying to tap in with this game plan, this moniker, this execution that you're trying to have, and you're not doing that, are you just trying to deceive us, or are you not doing what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like there's still questions that they're trying to figure out. They're still trying to work through their offense, still trying to figure out their play calling, whatever the case is with him and Todd Monken. But their goal, according to Lamar, was to have Odell and Zay, Odell who's now hurt, Odell Zay and Mark Andrews just boom, 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 boom. Get them the ball. Get their weapons the ball. Get Nelson Aguilar the ball. And it hasn't looked that fluid. That's where my questions in Baltimore reside. But their run game is still their run game. They're still productive with, I guess, whatever back they want to throw back there.
Well,
They
have Lamar Jackson.
But see, that's the problem, and that's what I brought it up yesterday. That I feel with these injuries that are adding up, they're going to find themselves resorting to running more with Lamar, and I know this is something that they wanted to avoid at least coming into this season, because you're going out and getting Tom Monken, you're going out and getting OBJ, you're drafting a guy like Zay Flowers, you're wanting to improve the passing game, but now you add the element of there's no J.K. Dobbins, Mark Andrews is
Ronnie Stanley
is trying to get healthy, Ronnie Stanley's beat up. You're trying to get that passing element going, so you're like, okay, well, the one thing that we have in our back pocket is design run plays for Lamar. And I feel like I'm hoping they don't resort to that, because I think we're going to run into another issue where Lamar is not finishing out another season again.
Well, to be fair, Lamar in his past 2 injuries have happened in the pocket.
Fair.
Not with him running the
ball
on any design run,
Right.
to be fair to that. But
I feel like he knows how to get out the way.
I don't know. I'm just a little hesitant right now, just looking at the way that they played, to sit here and say they are in competition for the 1 seed, even though I chose them. Dada's not happy at all with our Chiefs
Outlook.
No.
He says
he's a big Chiefs fan.
Yeah, he says the Chiefs defense is way better than last year. We sleep.
It's more productive. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. They was good without Chris Jones.
It's just the offense hasn't looked as good as last
It
year.
hasn't caught up yet. And to be fair, they're going to catch up at some point. Like, they're not going to look this stagnant all season.
Yeah, no. There's no way.
They're going to find their groove at some point offensively. But
And who knows how people will get unlocked? We still have this untapped Justin Ross thing.
Man,
that's
I'm
sitting
waiting
there.
for them to literally just
To be
say,
honest, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean,
Maybe not this
I
year.
feel like in the first 2 games, it was a perfect time to say, you know what? Forget it. Let's break glass and just see what we got.
All I can think about
So
is
what
that
were your guys? So
since
we're bringing up the Chiefs, we might as well just go ahead and talk about the Chiefs Jags.
Right.
Chiefs Jags.
Oh, we had already segued to that earlier. You didn't catch that in the midst of
yeah, but I want to talk on the Jags side.
on the Jags.
Yeah.
Another
Yes.
team did take the field yesterday.
straight
Against
field goals is
Kansas City.
crazy. I expect better from their offense.
I mean, to be honest,
Absolutely.
they had a lot of throws where it's like back of the end zone. It was just a little too far out for the receivers to get both feet in. They had about 3 or 4 of them where it's like, oh, they could have got that.
Game
Yeah, it's a game, and they just didn't have it. It's like it was there, but
I don't know how I feel about the Jags. I didn't know how I felt about them at the beginning of the season, and I damn sure don't know after 2 games, because they didn't look all that impressive against the Colts. They didn't look all that impressive here against the Chiefs. I don't know if it's what Dada's here saying, where it's the Chiefs' defense, or are they still working out this offense?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Offense isn't. I don't feel like it's.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think the Chiefs having Chris Jones on the field yesterday did make a difference. You can tell.
Sure. He was pressuring a lot.
Because he was able to live in the backfield a healthy amount. But I do think it is worthy enough to look at them at this point and say, what are they? Like, we know they can be good. We know their potential is there, but what are they? At least offensively, what are they? Those questions still go unanswered after 2 weeks. And I kind of sort of wish those questions would have been answered yesterday. I mean, what are the better performance? What are the better stage would you have to answer those questions than against the Kansas City Chiefs?
At home, too.
Right. And on top of that, on the Kansas City side, they're going to need to figure out how to fix their O-line, because we're not going to just skate by Juwan Taylor getting paid how much money?
$20 million.
And getting benched? Like, that's
in game 2.
But I think
that's after his
against
week
the
1, which was bench worthy performance. It was bench performance worthy as well. Like,
so, and it's not just that. I'm hearing that it's both tackles who were
Was Donovan
really
Smith on the
susceptible.
tackle?
Donovan Smith, yes, their left tackle. Yep.
both were susceptible
From the
this
damn-
past
Both
week.
both had some issues.
So I'm sitting here and I'm like, if you don't protect Mahomes, this is gonna be a long season.
Do we
either
think
way.
that they need more balance on offense? Isaiah
No.
Pacheco had 12 carries.
No,
Patrick Mahomes had 41 passes and 7 rushes
No.
himself.
No, I think they simply need their youngsters to grow up.
Sky Moore.
I think that's
He had a nice little showing,
I think
but
that's it.
I want more.
We look at guys like Tony's a veteran, but let's be honest, like Tony's still kind of sort of in the development stage at his point because he really didn't develop in New York. He was always injured. So he's still fairly young and fresh at this point. They just need their youngsters to grow up in the passing game. Once that happens, you'll see a different Kansas City Chiefs offense.
Calvin really only had 2 catches for 32 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little concerning.
I mean, but
Granted,
that's
one
a,
of- one of them
but
he
Christian
dropped. I do remember that,
But Christian Kirk had over like 10 catches for like 100-something yards.
11
So it's-
catches for 110 yards.
Yeah, so it's like the receptions just went more to Christian Kirk than Calvin Ridley. Like last week, Christian Kirk had 1 catch, and then Calvin Ridley had 8. So it's like maybe they need to find a balance.
It's going to fluctuate that much.
Yeah, because obviously the first 2 games, it's just been a wide disparity on who gets the ball.
Right.
So,
But at the same time, you
real
got,
quick,
oh,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
speed roll through some stuff real quick.
You do it.
Gotta
Bills Raiders, great game. Did what
Nice-
they needed to do.
Nice bounce back.
Handle what they needed to handle.
Yeah.
No turnovers.
it's
80%
like-
completion percentage from Josh. Come
Nice
on,
bounce
baby.
back.
too
Yep.
easy.
Point blank, per.
Yep.
You
Hey,
saw
missing
it.
out on
I
a
can't
few
say
key
it.
defensive players on the DB side. So
Who?
the Bills were.
What do you mean?
One of them missing Dane Jackson or
No.
one of the corners.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, it's Kai. Kai Allen was missing. That's it.
He's not missing. He's inactive.
He was inactive, so that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. He was
Not missing. Not
Right.
good enough to start. Not good enough to get the jersey.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, inactive.
Look at
Healthy
Dan
scratch.
Orlovsky.
Healthy
Look at Dan
scratch.
Orlovsky.
Healthy scratch.
Okay.
He calling games Monday
I
night.
see what
Go
we're
ahead.
saying.
Yeah, no.
I
He's
see
a
what you're saying.
healthy scratch.
All right.
Yeah. Anywho,
That's crazy.
so talk that. Bucks 2-0. Congrats.
Look at
Nobody
Baker.
thought they'd get there,
Come on.
Bears.
I want to say this real quick.
But you're doing a great job.
If Baker stays on this role that he's on,
Uh-huh.
He's definitely getting an extension.
well, not only that, but I honestly think they can make a run for the wild card. If Baker is because they have a top 10 defense, they have a smothering defense, and you always got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in your back pocket.
He's not throwing an interception yet.
Yeah, if he can stay on this role, I think they honestly can make a run for the wild card in the NFC for sure.
The NFC definitely is a little questionable once you
Oh,
get to
but
the
they're not
wild
winning
card,
the division.
to the 5, 6, 7
No,
spots.
I'm not going to go that far,
Uh-uh.
but I think they'll be good enough to.
We'll see.
They'll be that team that going into week 17 is like, yo, we need to win to get in. Or week
Unless
18,
y'all
we're
stay
not.
consistent, they absolutely can
Yeah.
compete for the
They
division.
can.
So
Because the Saints have already showed us that they can go either way.
So he finished 26 of 34, 317 yards in the TD. That's a solid game.
Yeah.
He had a turnover-free game against the Vikings as well.
How many of those yards was Yak yards?
I know
Hey, look, didn't matter.
it didn't matter. Like
don't.
it's
Didn't matter.
Baker Mayfield not turning the ball over, not putting the offense in certain
No,
situations.
there's definitely priorities. You're
He
right.
hasn't done that in 2 games, so I'll give him that.
Jimmy G always got these numbers with the Yak. That's what be bothering
Yeah,
me.
the Debo Samuel.
I'm a Jimmy G
You're,
hater just for I respect that he's won games, but
Your second favorite team
my
also
second.
doesn't know how to win games.
Oh,
Chargers, Titans. Chargers go 0-2.
I went to games at Qualcomm.
Oh,
I'll tell you,
0-2
bro.
Chargers. Chargers gonna charge. That's how I always felt. Don't matter who the quarterback
Health.
is now.
Health cannot be the excuse this year. Everybody's healthy.
No, I can't. Y'all blame Anthony Lynn when he was the head coach.
Everybody's
Y'all couldn't
healthy.
Win close games. Y'all got Kellen Moore to be y'all's offensive coordinator. And the
Everybody's
Super Bowl.
healthy. JC's there, Derwin's there, Khalil's there,
Well, the only one that didn't play that game was Austin Eckler.
Keenan's there,
And granted, hey,
Mike Williams is still there.
run the football. Run the football. See what
But
it's
you
here
know
for.
what? That's the thing, though. Is the
Wonderful.
Titans. I had the Chargers winning that game because the Titans were missing 2 starting offensive linemen. They were missing
half their secondary.
Yeah, like I'm like, this is a gimme
a
game,
cakewalk. Yeah.
a gimme. And they just said, you know what? We're not.
It doesn't
doing
matter who's at the helm. This is what it is.
Chargers
And not it. They gonna keep on charging to these
Man,
L's.
For the record, Cordell and I have the Chargers missing the playoffs. Just to throw that
I
out
don't.
there.
So do I.
I don't.
Oh,
No,
so,
you don't.
Oh,
I
so
gotta
just
make
you. My
it.
fault.
Yeah,
My fault.
I got him
Wow.
as a, I have him
I
as a
didn't know
wild
what you was
card.
gonna
say.
and
Yeah.
It's,
You
it's
know what I'm
starting to
saying?
look
Uh,
starting to look a
Also,
little sketchy.
crazy game. Giants Cardinals.
Oh, wait,
Giants
one-
had no
shout out
business-
Mike Vrabel one more time.
No
one more
business
time.
winning
Mike
that
Vrabel was
game.
great. Go ahead.
Yes, sorry. Giants had no business winning this game. Giants
None
had
at
no
all.
business
But
getting
to be
behind by
honest-
20-0.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fact
That's
that
It was 28-7
the fact that
in the
it
third
was the fact that it was 60 unanswered points before you finally put your first points above the season.
That's
Like,
nasty.
think about that.
No, that's
40
that's
and then
nasty.
20 before you finally get 7.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
That's really
The Giants are definitely missing the playoffs. Anybody that had them in the playoff discussion,
I don't know. Maybe this lit something on them and like they
It-
got into a
it-
ritume
it
offensively.
make-
now with
it
Saquon
may-
Barkley out
It's
now.
gonna come
Oh,
down
it's
to
true.
if the
Saquon.
Commanders.
All right,
shout out
Saquon's
Durs.
out.
It's
Y'all
gonna
can't-
come down to
and-
Durs.
and
And
y'all
they
can't
finished.
beat them
The
with
Giants.
Saquon. Y'all don't deserve.
You are
Moving on.
absolutely right because the
So-
Giants are
Don't
some
do
booty cheeks.
So-
Go ahead.
Anyway, let's move on to higher
There's
teams
no
in the
way. I'm
NFC,
still
shall
mad
we?
they lost
Oh,
to
the
last
Falcons?
year.
Talking about Falcons?
49ers, Rams.
Oh, we ain't
Let's
there
talk
yet.
that. Rams, I was impressed. Puka Nakua. Come on.
Look,
Hey,
look,
Pookie
look,
Nookie,
look,
Pookie
not
Nookie.
only Puka, yo, I love Tutu Atwell.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see what this offense look like with Cooper Kupp.
I
back
think
there.
that Tutu's actually going to take a step back when Cooper comes back.
I
It's
hope
just
not.
Gonna,
No,
but
to be
Cooper
fair,
and Puka.
I hope
it's
not.
good that
NBA
the young
sidebar
guys-
is looking like Kelly Oubre signing with the 76ers.
But no.
Sorry, go back.
It's a
Do
good.
your thing.
It's a good thing that these
I feel
young
y'all might
guys
wanna
are
know.
getting these targets now because when Cooper Kupp comes back, it's just that, okay. Cooper
Yeah.
Kupp gets more targets.
It's good for them.
But Stafford will be more comfortable.
It's good for
throwing
them
to these
because remember coming into the season, Stafford had that issue with young
receivers.
That report was coming out. He was struggling with young receivers. in
His wife was
practice.
talking about it. Apparently, it was
Right,
yeah.
but Puka
So-
looks amazing, and I think
Yes.
Tutu's gonna be a game.
And the Rams are competing.
Exactly.
And they still
I
got
think-
Aaron Donald.
I think honestly, now that
Aaron Donald.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, I know I had the Seahawks. I may want to just go with the Rams to win to get in the wild
Get the
card.
wild card.
To get the wild card.
I was about to say.
didn't
You
make-
did say win the.
Yeah,
I thought
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
about to.
No,
He was
no,
about to. He caught himself.
Yeah,
Hold on
Hey, no,
now.
I wouldn't.
I think
I'm
I may
still-
want to slide them in instead.
Let's
of
not
taking
act
the
like
Seahawks.
Christian
Seahawks
McCaffrey
believer.
ain't toting that thing.
I'm a
No, I was about to say McCaffrey's having a
Still
hell of a year.
Seahawks believer.
You still see a believer? I don't know. I think that Geno is who I thought he was, but I just was trying to believe in the hype.
But he's still
got-
I like
yards against
Geno.
the Lions.
Gino one of them dudes.
It's
You
been
know,
10 years, and you just want me to believe that after 10 years of being in the pros, that it just clicked all of a
The
sudden.
light
for
bulb
you?
is gonna cut off.
It just clicked
Well,
for
me-
all of a sudden.
Geno-
to be
Geno's
fair,
not
when we
turning the
judge-
ball over.
When we judged Geno, it was with the Jets. The Jets didn't have anybody.
very incompetent organization.
He
at the time.
becomes a journeyman. He learns. He gets to the Seahawks. What do the Seahawks have? Weapons.
Weapons, plural.
Like
We'll see.
they got guys.
real
He not
quick,
turning the ball over. He putting the ball where it needs to go.
That's all.
Moving. Jets, Cowboys. Jets. Again.
Hey,
Sorry,
R.I.P.
Zach Wilson, your mentals, bro. Just Oh.
Cowboys.
I hope you have two therapists.
Cowboys did what they're supposed to do. I'm not going to sit here and give them a whole bunch of extra props or anything like that.
defense.
Oh no, but I do give Dak some props because he didn't turn the ball.
That defense.
Like-
is-
Like the defense was great.
That
I'm
defense.
not.
No. But the Cowboys, they did.
You're not what?
They schemed around not throwing it to Sauce Gardner. So they
Sauce should have had a pick six.
he should have. But other than that,
That was Sauce's fault.
But no,
He did
I'm
drop
saying
that
other than that, but they didn't target this man. They moved CD around so he
Yeah,
wasn't
to
on
avoid him.
Sauce.
The Jets don't.
and
have
then
people trail.
they ran the ball, which was good. That's something the Jets did not do. So I give props to Dallas for playing the game they needed to play.
Also, CD is a one, just
So-
for the record.
Anyway,
You and your tiers of
Anyways,
one.
yeah,
CD
he's
a
a
one.
one now.
That man nice.
he's a
That wiggle you want. That wiggle. CD got that wiggle at 6'2", 6'3".
So
No
I
rebuttal.
wanna
That's
see-
crazy.
I want to see the Cowboys
His tiers.
play against a better offense so I can really get a good grasp of this defense.
I mean, at this point,
Like
it's
I'm not
a whole
holding
lot.
it against them. I'm just
You
saying
just gotta see
like,
it. I
I just
understand.
want to see them against a better offense than the Giants and the Jets with no Rodgers.
That's how I feel about my 2-0. We beat the damn Cardinals and Broncos, and
they
we
play the
bad.
Chargers in a couple weeks.
That's okay.
There you go.
So
I don't know their whole lineup.
They're healthy and intact. They do play your Bills later on this year as well.
I'm not doubting them.
y'all gotta stretch.
I'm not doubting them. I'm just
Starting
saying
with the Dirge.
that I know there's a lot of like hype around them, and like this could be like one of the greats. And I'm just and Micah Parsons is doing.
Well, it's hard to be a great. It's hard to be one of the great defenses when the offenses have changed to where you can't stack up
when it comes to
like statistically with some of the great defenses.
When it comes to the Cowboys, I mean, granted they're 2-0, their defense looks amazing.
Micah Parsons
But
had
this
50% pass win.
pass rush.
That's
rush
crazy.
run
That's
rate.
crazy.
Whatever.
But
That's crazy.
this is something that we kind of sort of normally see for the Cowboys, right? Where they get off to a decent start of the season, at least a decent start. Now they just look arguably like the best team in the league. You can make a case for them right now after 2 weeks. But it's just I get your point, but I think if there's one side of the ball that's a sure bet, it's that defense.
And it's the way that they've won. They've blown out the teams who, in theory, they should have blown out.
Real quick,
That's true.
Jack Savage, the Chargers are just a dumpster fire organization.
All right.
Hey.
I don't know why you tooting his horn. There's no need for you to make him feel good like this. This is what he's been saying for years.
I mean, hey,
He hates that Justin Herbert been anointed.
but we all said they weren't making the playoffs.
We did.
People had Herbert as a top 6, top 5, top 4 quarterback.
He's a top 10 quarterback.
Slow that down.
I agree.
That's
Top
it.
10.
Now that people are starting to realize, then I'm gonna ease up. But I needed.
But it ain't Herbert.
But
Their defenses look pathetic the last 2
the
weeks.
defenses look pathetic, yes, but there were moments,
Okay.
were drives
Hold on.
where he could have done the game-winning drive and fell short.
Look,
In
look,
OT, he went 3 and out.
Yep, 3 and out.
The
Three deep balls.
Last game, week 1, you had an intentional grounding that destroyed that drive entirely. So I'm sitting here pointing at 2 game-winning drives that you fell short.
That's true.
Where
Like,
you
I
supposed
know
to be the guy.
Yes, I know your defense.
And
is
if we
doing
want to
things
judge
that
top
you
5
didn't do.
quarterbacks, that's what we judge. This type of thing.
So last game, want to get into.
Well, hey, look, we gotta.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Last game, got to get into Dolphins, Patriots. We already touched on the Dolphins, which is why I said we can't just end this thing without talking about the Dolphins, talking about Tua. My personal thing, he threw for $150.
250, bro.
Oh, sorry, 250, 1 TD, 1 interception. Solid game. Nothing to write home about. Nothing for us to be sitting here. He simmered down from week 1 to week 2.
He had
Bill
466.
Belichick does this, though.
This is how I see it. I said, okay, I see your first game, you played the team, high-powered offense, no defense. Cool. Now I come here and I'm like, strong defense, no offense. Okay, cool. Now I'm like, all right, now I just want to see you play a team that has a complete of something.
It's
Where it's
crazy.
not just a heavy.
There's not a lot of teams in the NFL right now that
Right.
have shown
After
both.
2 weeks.
No. When I say no offense, I literally mean like we're talking about the Chargers, who have one of the worst defenses in the league, and then you're talking about the next game is against a team that has.
You're just talking about
offense
different
and it.
team architects.
I'm talking about like
Archetypes.
let's face a team that has at least above average in both,
All right.
above 15 ranked in
But
both.
I think
at 15.
it's
You know what I'm saying?
all about perspective when it comes to these things. I look at it as the Dolphins went into a road game, a divisional road game. They picked up a run game. They ran for 140 yards, which is something that they don't normally do as a team. And they got to win. They won in a different style. And I think that's important for them to, if they want to get to that particular level, when I'm talking about winning playoff games and becoming a Super Bowl champion, you got to learn how to win in various ways. And they found out yesterday we can win without Tua lighting up a secondary. We can run the football and we can still play our game and we can still walk out with a win. Now, you're not going to get your wish this week against Denver. You may get your wish in a couple weeks.
If they put it together.
You may get your wish in a
No,
couple
maybe
weeks.
Broncos put it together this week.
My thing is, because I said this on last week's show, and I said it today, and I'm saying it again.
Ain't no way.
If Tua goes into Buffalo in a couple weeks, and he lights up that defense, and they get a win,
You already know he on your ass
I'm waiting.
in the wins.
I'm
Hey, look,
a
in the
vulture.
weeds.
Hey, he's worried
In the
about the
weeds.
Commanders already.
All right, that's all my
But
mind is on.
look,
You
look,
better be worried
but
about
look,
the Commanders.
but look. To be fair, the one thing with Tua is they've done both of those wins on the road. So
Bing.
gotta love that. 2 road wins.
Yep.
Bill Belichick does a good job at neutralizing a weapon. Tyreek
Yeah,
only
and
had 40
usually
yards
Tua doesn't
receiving.
do that great in New England. So the fact that he just played a regular, average, good game. Like it wasn't nothing too crazy, nothing spectacular. He did what he needed to do, and that's okay. Against Bill Belichick, it's hard to do. So there we go. All right,
Let's lock in real quick. Monday Night Football.
Monday night.
Let's go, Bryce Young.
Doubleheader. So looks like we're getting ready to start this Panthers Saints game.
If
The
the
Panthers
What do we like? What are we going with?
if the meteor wants
Saints.
to fall and hit Bank of America Stadium tonight, I'm okay with that. I just want to put that up.
All right. So we
Saints
have I got the Saints winning. Saints winning against the Panthers. I don't think it's their time yet. I really want to pick them as an upset,
I got
but the Saints gonna get it today.
Where we going, Robinson?
All right,
Panthers don't got J.C. Horn
Clean
either.
sweep Saints. Bryce Young ain't ready for it. Move on to the next game. Steelers Browns. What we talking? What we doing?
I think Steelers squeeze out a win tonight. It may not be in impressive fashion, but I think they kind of sort of scrap their way to a dub.
Deshaun Watson might be exposed if he's not him today. This will be the game to show us what we could expect throughout the rest of the season. But I still think that they're gonna lean on Nick Chubb and the Browns gonna pull it out.
The Steelers can't fall 0-2 at home.
I definitely have to go Steelers. Like I feel like
They can't, right?
it's hard, man. Like I
said the
can't.
Bengals can't.
Miles Garrett is
Like-
scary. I don't know
like,
what you
I
talking
mean,
about.
Home
that-
though. This 0-2 at home.
Like the Steelers could, but I feel like this is the type of game that they would squeeze out
Right,
and win.
right.
Monday Night Football
At
at
home.
home.
Yeah.
Like
Their
the crowd
issues been
be-
their offensive line, and the Browns got
But-
Miles
but-
Garrett and Zadarius
But
Smith.
they
coming
they
down.
they'll run the ball. I think that'll be the.
Will they run it well?
I-
haven't done that in
think
a good
so.
while.
I think so.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the Browns. I'm not even. I don't believe in Kenny Pickett. I'm gonna continue to ride that. I decided to give him a little leeway with the first game of the season, and
It's against the 49ers.
not
Jamal?
doing it. No, but he didn't even look competent, and that's where I was like, yeah, no.
I need 10 of those fans.
They had
From
him
him.
shook.
Whatever. I am taking 1,000% the Browns. Miles Garrett going wreck Kenny Pickett,
What's up, Chef Jeff?
and that's
We'll
gonna
see.
be the end of that for them.
We'll see.
Okay.
I Steelers fans, sorry, but that's what it's gonna be. But hey guys, thanks for kicking it with us for dear Jesus, for our live show.
For Roger Goodell, for the whole
Outspoken
brand.
Live.
You know
Thank you.
what it is.
Thank you guys for our first live show. Greatly appreciate it.
Ski.
Why you like touching the mic, bro? Just
I don't
We
know.
leave
are,
it sitting.
Yeah,
we
I'm
are
trying to
gonna-
tell with it.
we're signing off. We're gonna sit here and watch this Saints Panthers game. We will be back Thursday before Thursday Night Football kicks off with all of our previews for Week 3. So thank you again for joining us. Till next time, I'm Cordell.
Marcus.
Bijan is Black Jesus.
Every 3 2nd, E2, baby. You already know how we do.
All right, and you know what? We're out.
You
Yes,
crazy.
sir.
Black Jesus, bro? Really? That's how you gonna